Hello, everybody, and welcome to our Command Point live stream of the Bay Area Tournament Simulation. We're going to be going live with Matt Hoell versus Alec Berryman in about 25 minutes at this point. I'm here with my co-hosts, Sean and Ryan. We're going to be doing commentary on this game today.
Hey,
how's it going, guys?
I'm doing well. How are you?
Pretty well.
Doing good.
Yeah. So this is the first game that is happening of the bracket stage. So we're in the final 32 now, and we're kicking it off with, I think, a really good matchup. It's going to be Heretic Astartes versus Druhkari. So, guys, do we have any thoughts before we get into the rosters, just looking at these factions and how they stack up against each other?
Yeah. Well, before even getting into the factions, honestly, like both of these players, like you could have asked me earlier, I would have predicted either of these players to be going all the way to the finals. You know, Matt Hoell he just won the last tournament playing Necrons, but he's putting up those same numbers that we saw during our LVO style tournament when he was running Necrons with his Heretic Astartes in this tournament. Just been absolutely dominant so far.
Yeah, by those numbers, you mean X and O, right?
20, 20, 20, 21. Yeah. Or no, it's like 21, 21, 20, 21. Yeah. Don't know what happened to that third game. Where's the 1 point?
Yeah.
He's undefeated. And then Alec, Alec Berryman, one of the best, if not the best, Druhkari player from LVO 2020, I believe. Right?
He went he had first place on that. Yeah, he had first place on the first day. So
right,
that's a really good performance there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, but yeah, no, they're both just great players, and this game is going to be really exciting. Probably one of the most high skill level games we'll see up until the finals, honestly. So which roster do you guys want to start out with?
Let's see. It looks like we have Alec up. It's looking at his Druhkari. Kind of a lot of that scoop that you expect. Not as much as some other people, but he does have the opportunity to go lots of mandrakes or with some rack backup. I'm preparing against Druhkari myself, so a lot of these things seem very, very similar with the Incubus, Clavex, liquefier guns, which is essentially their equivalent of a flamer. I believe though it's strength 3 and AP minus D3 instead of strength 4 AP minus 0. So they have this interesting ability to kind of go with a mixed approach of having some supporting shooting phase, but there's also going to be a lot of bodies and a lot of attacks that are moderately decent in the fight phase too.
Yeah, I mean, Alec is definitely a prophet of the flesh Druhkari player through and through. It's kind of what he became known for was making racks and like all these like different models work really well together. Something that I noticed is that he has not just the Clavex, but he's got a couple Incubi on the list as well that he can bring if he wants some more AP. He's got a Grotesque or two in the roster, and then he's got the option for that one Cabalite gunner with the blaster in case he wants to go Flight Skull, in which case he would forego taking any racks or anything like that. But yeah, I mean, it's a pretty good roster. Ryan, do you have any thoughts? You were testing out Druhkari a little bit before this tournament.
Yeah. When I was testing out Druhkari, I was staying away from Flayed Skull just because I personally think that combat is better than shooting in Kill Team, especially on Arena. So I was more running Prophets of the Flesh and then the Witches subfaction where they get like +1 to strength, I think. But I mean, it's a good roster. He's got the 5 mandrakes in here, the core of any good Druhkari.
They're just so good.
Yeah, they're just so good. You can't not take them. Going against Heretic Astartes. I like this matchup. It's a lot better than going up against Necrons. I can tell you that. All of his killing power, like his like major like, I guess efficient, like really strong killing power, is basically going to be chained to just 3 different models. So if those models go off, they go off, and I don't see it going bad for him. But against Heretics, I don't know. Yeah.
In this matchup, with the way that Matt's been running Heretics, I mean, even those mandrakes can really cut through the cultist horde pretty easily, I think.
Yeah, because he's been running like the cultist horde. He's in like more cultists, less berserkers. So, yeah, even the mandrakes, they can definitely just cleave right through those guys. We'll just have to see how it plays out, I guess.
Yeah, and then I guess we can look over at Matt Howell's this Heretic Astartes roster that we've got on stream right now. So he's running the Renegade chapters, which is reroll charges for just about for every model that isn't a cult, which is pretty standard at this point. But really, I think the takeaway is he runs a lot of cultists. He has the option to flood the board with those guys, and he tends to a lot of the time. A few Khorne Berserkers in here as well. I see a Chaos Space Marine Gunner with a, I believe, plasma gun. So he has that option to take that Sniper Specialist. Sean, I guess, how do you think that this matchup between these two rosters, like a cultist toward Heretic Astartes, would do Alec, presumably assuming he takes the Prophets of Flesh?
I mean, anytime I'm looking at Arena and these T3 factions, I'm thinking about the number advantage, because often they can sit on the higher end of average, around 10, if that's where they want to be. So if they're, oftentimes fighting against anybody with any real kind of elite fighting capabilities in the fight phase, you'd expect them to at least have the numbers advantage and do some door shenanigans or tie people up. But then Heretic Astartes comes in, and they have Khorne Berserkers throwing fistfuls of dice, but they also have the bodies because they have the cultists. So that makes things really interesting and really tough when you have somebody like Matt, piloting that team that can just mow people down in the fight phase, but also, kind of get all the swarm advantages also. So toughness 3 is definitely going to be a liability for Alec, because not only is Matt going to be throwing lots of dice, they're going to be, getting that they're going to be wounding on 3s instead of 4s. Even though I guess do Khorne Berserkers already have strength 5 anyway? Yeah.
They do.
Or strength 6. So if some of his have the chain axe, so against the toughness 3, they're throwing lots of dice. They're attacking multiple times. He can be either, I'm seeing chain axe, chain sword, so throwing an extra die for wounding on 3s, or just wounding on 2s. That's definitely gonna be tricky. Luckily, we have the Alec has all those 4-up invuls and the 6-up feel no pain to try and save him. So there are going to be a lot of dice thrown in this game, and it's I think it's going to be coming down to, if the dice decide to go in the way of Alec and his saves, because he's going to have to make a ton of saves. Let's bring it over there.
Say this is mission 1, Mac B. So basically, like the one corner of the map and another corner of the map, with objectives, kind of they're 2 in the middle and then the two that are kind of further away from both deployments. I believe you got to go like at least 12 inches just to get to the one down the hallway, which is something that definitely works out in Alec's favor with the 8-inch move that those mandrakes have.
Yeah.
Do we have veterans on either roster?
I believe
Matt
that
does
one
have
of
one.
Matt's berserkers is a veteran. Yeah.
There's a rack gunner with a liquefier gun that is also a veteran spec.
Ooh,
Alec,
okay.
Which is a really interesting one. So I guess one thing I wanted to talk about was if you're, I guess we'll start with Alec. Like if you're Alec, what secondaries are you looking at for this matchup?
Probably. Is he just going to try to work his way down all those cultists and pick up bounty tokens along the way? Because 4-point models, bounty tokens still are worth 1 point. So, why not focus your fire on the weak guys and pick up points off of them when you can? Now, if he gets caught up in, berserkers, that is going to make things definitely a little bit trickier for him. But something like Vicious Assault, maybe, depending on.
I think that's fair.
I was thinking. Like against the cultist horde, you could probably get away with Reaper.
True.
There's probably like maybe 14 to 15 models on the board for Matt.
Yeah, and he has.
I know that. Oh, go ahead.
He has those. The mandrakes do shoot a little bit too, so it's not like he, is stuck trying to get charges off just to getting those kills. They're very flexible models, so it's very possible to think he'll be able to take some pop shots at cultists and work toward those 6 out of actions.
Yeah. I also know that having watched his games, Alec is a big fan of mind games. He even took it against like Death Watch.
Okay.
But in this matchup, outside of the Berserker champion, the highest leadership you're going to find is 7 from the Berserkers and the Gunner. And with so many bodies, it's certainly within the realm of possibility. And also, Matt Hoell is kind of notorious for, I don't know if he's talked to you guys, but he's pretty notorious for like breaking constantly in like a lot of the games that he plays. So, who knows? Maybe if there was ever a time to take it, cultist spam is a decent option.
Yeah. Going back to Alec's roster, normally for a Druhkari list, I would almost auto take data recovery and engineer. But on this map, I think that's going to be very hard for his team to be playing positional. I think he's going to be out activated by Matt here. So that I think he's better off going killy secondaries, like Sean was saying earlier.
Yeah,
taking things like bounty hunters, possibly vicious assault, and then mind games.
There's no great way to hide on this map. Not where these objectives are. You can, like, you might be able to get a turn off if you have fast guy getting, assuming we're deploying up here, getting over to this objective that gives you that blocks from down here, but that doesn't stop the guy from just running up. So that's probably not going to happen turn 1, because it's a fair way to get all the way over there. And, if you can get there fast enough, you might be able to block that door. You get somebody else down here to shut this door, that kind of isolates you pretty well over there, but then you're kind of relying on keeping those shut the whole time. And actually, this is the first map I played on this tournament. I totally forgot that blowing up the door was a thing. And luckily my opponent did too for the first 2 turns. But yeah, so that would be a bad day. But yeah, you can't really rely on being completely safe. So I can't imagine anybody taking data recovery. Maybe Matt, I guess, strength in numbers.
Yeah,
he
right.
could just put bases in hallways, and how are you gonna get in there if you kind of lock yourself into this corner?
Yeah.
But yeah, this is a really tricky one in terms of kind of territorial play like that.
Yeah. All right. Well, it looks like both players have joined the game. So, Sean, if you could go ahead and promote both of them so they can spawn in their lists.
I guess before I ask you guys, I guess analyst desk predictions. Ryan, you first. Who do you think is going to take it?
I think Alec Berryman has a slight advantage in this matchup.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sean, what about you?
There's so many bodies to kill.
I'm gonna go with the Berserkers being able to mow their way through the line. So I'm gonna say Matt.
Okay. Interesting.
It makes it more interesting if I pick the opposite of what Ryan did. So.
I want to say Matt because he did win our last tournament, and he's somebody that I mean, obviously we all have tremendous respect for him as a player, but the Druhkari list that I'm looking at, or roster that I'm looking at, I think is going to be able to take care of the cultist spam. So I'm going to give it to Alec too.
Matt is what 9-0 in command point
tournaments.
Command point tournaments.
Yeah, no, the Vegas odds I think are definitely in his favor, just from that run. But yeah, man,
yeah,
it's gonna be close.
How crazy would it be if Alec just busted out 2 grotesques in this game?
That would be wild. That would be wild.
I mean, does Matt have like a really good answer outside of the one power fist for it?
No. I mean, fighting twice, but even then, he's going to be doing it with models that can only do a maximum of 1 damage. Like, I was even looking at his gunners, and all I saw was he's got a gunner with a flamer, and he's got a gunner with a heavy bolter for those Marcus Lanesh ones. So, I mean, yeah, he could use 2 CP to make either of them shoot twice, but still, it's going down to a 1 damage weapon. So...
Yeah.
It's my...
Matt also has... Yeah, speaking of big guys, Matt has a Terminator with 2 lightning claws on his roster. I can't imagine he would take it, but the Heretic Terminator with the lightning claws is really cost efficient. It's only like 28 points or something.
Yeah. That is like the Terminator model in Kill Team.
Yeah, I think it's one of the best ones.
It's actually seen like good competitive play.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because you have so many cheap bodies that can support it.
Good to see you watching. Dindomer in the chat says that Alec Berryman has run 2 grotesques before, and that he has been on the receiving end of them.
I know he did it at LVO against Custodians.
Oh, okay.
And that actually might have been against Dindomer.
Oh, okay. Berryman says, love both these guys.
I think that they've picked their secondaries, which tells me that they've probably picked their lists also. Yeah, I mean, either way, I think this is going to be a really intense matchup. And one of the craziest first-round matchups we're going to have here in the bracket.
Oh, yeah. Like, if this wasn't like single elimination here on in for this tournament, I would say that it was a like a finals preview, basically. Either of these guys can go all the way.
There can only be one.
That's right.
Yeah, I would say just having watched all three of Alec's games in the group stage, the only downside to his game that I've seen is he needs to, I think, shape up his secondary approach a little bit. Obviously, he's a great player, but he's been leaning on some secondaries that I don't think have been the right call. As we get the lists out, so
oh wow,
so 4 racks, 3 incubi, and the
yeah,
Clavix
that's
with them.
surprising.
Alec
Only
is a big fan of
3
those guys.
mandrakes.
Sorry, stream, for whipping my camera around like this so we can see for you guys.
They're all gonna get motion sickness.
Yeah.
AJR, Alec lost a game to another Druhkari in a mirror match during the group stage, and that player ended up, which leaves us with Alec in his predicament.
If you guys want to check out the spreadsheet in the faction win-loss ratio page, I did put a note for Astartes and Druhkari that there were several mirror matches for them, which kind of skews the win-loss ratio because each game would count as a win and a loss. So I did a little note on the side with updated percentages for them. Either way, Astartes is only at 50%, but
so this looks like the most berserkers that Matt has brought this tournament.
Yeah.
He's got 5. I think he's taken the max possible for his roster.
Yeah, looks like it. So took a cultist leader, no surprise there. 2 cultist gunners with flamers, 4 chaos cultists, Khorne berserker, another Khorne berserker, a veteran specialist Khorne berserker, a combat specialist Khorne berserker, and a zealot berserker champion.
Yeah, and that berserker champion is actually armed with a lightning claw, contrary to the
Yeah, I see it now. What are the other Khorne berserkers armed with? Chainsword and chain axe for the veteran. Chainsword and chain axe for the combat spec Khorne berserker. Makes sense. You know, he's going up against a mostly toughness 3. He doesn't really need a power fist to like chew through all that armor, but like I was saying earlier, he's kind of going down to single damage weapons only. Yeah. So it looks like they've started deploying.
No, I guess.
But
yeah, I guess we can go through that Druhkari roster now.
Real quick, Heretic Astartes, secondaries, Headhunter, Vicious Assault, and Bounty Hunters.
Those are great secondaries.
So looking at the Druhkari, we have a demo wreck gunner with a liquefier, the Mandrake leader, which is pretty standard, a zealot Clavix, also pretty standard, an Akathist combat specialist with a liquefier and electric corrosive whip. So that's a pretty scary model.
Yeah, he is.
I believe 2 regular racks that are just with homunculus tools.
Yep.
A couple of incubi, and I think that's everything for Alec. So he's definitely foregone some mandrakes in order to take some incubi.
Yeah.
And over here, Cookie Monster has Reaper, Mind Games, and Bounty Hunters.
What a savage.
There's the Reaper Mind Games combo that we were kind of talking about. I really like Bounty Hunter. I think this is the first time he's taken it in the tournament. I might be wrong about that, but I think it's a really good choice here. You know, despite the toughness 4 and the 3-up saves, Khorne berserkers are not that durable. They don't have any mechanism to keep them alive. There's no invuln or feel no pain. They're just, once you get through that 1 wound, that's pretty much it. There's no sneaky tricks that the heretics can play. So one benefit to the Mandrake movement is Alec can actually utilize these side hallways. From my experience on this map, if I'm running models with 6-inch movement without any like extra stuff, I tend to avoid those hallways like the plague. You can really get lost in those hallways. Like your models can just enter turn 1 and just emerge like turn 3 when everything is like shifted and it's not even useful for them to be there anymore. Those hallways are kind of a trap.
Yeah.
I was thinking the like going down that hallway. It's like the Matthew McConaughey and Interstellar meme. Where
This
like,
little maneuver is going to cost us 51 years.
Yeah, that's what I think when I go down those hallways. But yeah, the Mandrakes can actually go down there. They have the capability to make an advance move and come out the other side in a single turn, which is something that the Heretic does not have the option to. I'm sure we'll see some go down that hallway, but they're not going to be a factor until maybe turn 2.
Right.
Yeah, this deployment almost forces you to do that. It's like it's so crammed in there, and they're only 2 ways out.
So looks like they're gonna roll for initiative here. Or not sure what Matt Hoell was rolling for. He's rolled a single die. Oh, I think
it's a veteran move.
Veteran move.
So not the best advance roll for that.
No,
move,
arguably the worst advance roll.
Arguably.
Yeah, arguably.
So another 6.
I think that's how it works, though. Veteran moves always roll a 1 to advance, in my experience.
Yeah.
Maybe that's just me.
Yeah, mine too.
Okay. If you're like me, you'll plan on doing it, and then you just won't, and then you'll just be behind for the rest of the game.
So Alec has opted to not take his veteran, so we're just going to go on to initiative now.
All right,
Matt wins.
Yeah.
Probably not what he wanted here, going against a team with a bit more shooting capabilities.
Right. That Demolitions Rack Gunner with the liquefier is a very scary model, and can totally get in the middle of the map and just kind of hose down that top right objective, I guess is what I'll call it.
So with a 12-inch advance, Matt's Corn Berserker down here has actually almost made it out of the hallway. It was the best possible advance he could have gotten. He's still not on an objective or anything, but he is at least set up to get out next turn.
Yeah. Okay. Looks like the demo rack gunner, or Matt's measuring that demo rack gunner threat range.
Yeah, and those racks have 7-inch base movement, so it's not crazy to think that he could advance down that hallway and maybe
liquefy
get a shot off. Yeah, I think Matt's trying to prepare for that.
Mm-hmm. Trying to move back. And, he doesn't have to be as so bold as to needlessly expose himself, because next round, assuming he gets initiative or he can decisive move, he took Renegade chapters, so he's going to be re-rolling all charges.
Yeah. See, it gets really scary if Alec moves a guy up to that terminal right there and just shuts that door.
Ooh, yeah. Yeah, terminals on BAO are... There's something.
Yeah. Matt might think he's out of that hallway almost with a 12-inch advance, but it might not be over yet.
Yeah, if a door gets slammed in his face, oh God.
It's funny how, there's been a lot of chatter in Discord lately about initiative and the way it interacts with the game, but we really see it with doors too, because initiative makes such a difference in terms of who gets a chance to open and close first or second. It's just like a much bigger advantage to go second, even more than usual when you have the last say kind of, on whether or not a door is open.
So another 12-inch advance for Matt there, rather, with one of his cultists, his flamer cultist actually. So that's pretty scary for any mandrake that wants to peek around that corner.
Yeah. Another decent advance roll for Matt here.
And I believe that's the other flamer. So
Yeah, so he'll be able to overwatch the bottom left objective from that position.
yeah,
Practically
That is
all
true.
of it. I think he's advancing with another Berserker here. Gets 3.
So this is the non-specialist just coming
Right.
out for a 9-inch move. So there is a pretty nifty shooting lane. I can't show it because, I mean, Sean, you're the one controlling the camera. But when you walk out and go to the bottom side of like the chest here, right in front of your deployment, you can actually get shots on right where that cultist gunner with the flamer is and where the Berserker veteran is.
I think I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, that's
right beneath the bottom left objective.
Yeah.
Yeah, I see it now.
Yep.
So that might be a pretty good option for Alec here.
Yeah. Unfortunately, most of his shooting is just in the demo rack gunner, basically. What I mean, a mandrake can. It's not that unlikely for a mandrake to get some shots through.
Yeah, I mean, you get one hit through on a cultist, and it's pretty good odds you might get to an injury roll.
Yeah, for sure. All right.
So we see the Berserker champion moving up. The Lightning Claw champion zealot is something that I believe we talked to Will Blood about a long time ago on the podcast. He was a huge fan of that model.
Yeah, so how many attacks will he be getting in total? So 4 with the Lightning Claw, 1 with the Chainsword, and then the opportunity to fight again. So that's 8 attacks in total, just from that one model.
Well, 10, right? Because 4 with the Lightning Claw.
Oh, you're right, on the charge.
Yeah.
Rerolling wounds with the Lightning Claw.
That's a lot of wounds.
All right, so he has moved a cultist within an inch of the terminal there.
And it's interesting with initiative, Matt is going to have to operate the terminal first.
Yeah.
So Alec can close this door on the bottom right without any retaliation, I guess.
Yeah. So, I mean, if that door does wind up getting closed on the bottom right there, at least he'll have a cultist already set up and able to attempt to open it. Or he can spend a CP to auto-open it.
Yeah. So I'm wondering what Matt's going to do with that veteran Berserker.
Yeah.
That he advanced already. I'm not sure what the play is going to be with that guy.
Yeah, right. I could see him going down towards the bottom right, just because I feel he would be able to get more, like he's going to be safer there than going out into that just kind of that middle intersection there and going to the bottom left objective. If he goes to the bottom right, then it sets up for another charge onto that objective if any Druhkari models are able to get on the bottom right.
Yeah.
And it's going to be it'd be a lot. Yep, that's exactly what he's doing.
Well, you can't forget that there's that liquefier demo right there.
True, true.
I feel like anywhere the map puts that guy, he's kind of in danger.
Yeah.
I'm kind of questioning. I don't know if the veteran move is the way to go here.
You would have kind of just rather seen Matt kind of take 2 objectives and then just kind of goad Alec into coming out to play, basically, and then charging turn 2.
Yeah, because the way I see it right here is Alec. I mean, it also hurts that Alec gets to go second here for Matt.
Right.
Because Alec can really set up firing lanes in response to these movements. And it's actually his movement now.
Yeah, Matt doesn't have any models on that top right objective. He only holds 1 objective right now, and it's the top left one. And it looks like the Mandrake got a big old advance. Going down the hallway may be able to line up some shots on the cultist who's on the top left objective there.
Yeah.
Do you like this move, or
he might have a shot on the cultist outside of 8 inches?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
For sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I like that play. If
he's got line
of sight, the shot, it's kind of hard to tell. Not sure if he does.
No, the play I was asking if you liked was Matt Hoell not having any models on that top right objective.
Well, I mean, there's only so much you could do, right? I mean, that's a 12-inch advance. You basically need to get onto that point.
Remember, it's base to base, not model to model in arena. Yeah. So I think there is a shot.
I think so too.
Yeah, that Mandrake did advance, so he will be hitting on 5s, because normally they're ballistic seal 3, I think, right? Yeah, so he'd be hitting on 5s because target's going to be long range or obscured, and then long range, I think, because it's beyond 10 inches. I think we had measured.
So that'd be 6s.
That's right.
So
yeah,
obscured, long range, and advanced.
Yeah. Okay.
So I think Alec is measuring out his advance with the demo rec gunner, and he is looking at that Berserker veteran. And with point blank Overwatch being a thing, he doesn't need to be too scared of that Berserker charger on the corner round 2, on the bottom right.
True.
Yep. So he
gets
will
right
be getting
up next to that terminal. Yeah.
Well, more importantly, he'll have that shot right there.
Yeah.
And I actually don't know if Matt is obscured from that guy. I think he is, just barely.
Yeah, the left side, like the far left side of his base.
I was going to say, it looks like Alec can actually get 2 rounds of liquefier shots onto that Berserker if he wants to.
How do you mean 2 rounds?
Well, with the Akathist, and because they both have liquefiers.
Oh, the Acthus is a liquefier as well. Okay, yeah.
Yeah. Alec has not been getting the best advance rolls so far.
Yeah. He's got a lot of models left to move, though, so... Oh. Okay. Do any of you guys remember offhand the range of the liquefier? Is that 9 inches or 8 inches?
It's 8 inches, I believe.
Okay.
So 10 inches here for Alec is still not enough to get him onto that point.
No.
It's a tough one to get to, so far away.
Yeah, and he does not want to have to put his Night Fiend leader on that point.
No.
Model just move right through that other model? Or did it have range?
He had 10 inches, so I think he did have the range to get around. So, I mean, Alec he's going to want to get these kills early and quick. I mean, Reaper and Mind Games are... That kind of immediately puts a big pressure on the shoulders of the player who has them. Oh, and there's that rack moving up next to that terminal.
Yeah, the thing here is, since Matt kind of abandoned the top right objective, Alec isn't pressured into like getting bodies on 2 objectives. He can kind of just go towards the middle of the board, see where his liquefier guns get him, and possibly just shut down those 2 models that Matt's run down the hallway.
And he'll get another shot onto that cultist flamer with his leader, just out of 8 inches. So short range for the Mandrake shooting, but out of range of the flamer. I think that's a really nice setup. Oh, he's within 8 right there. He's got to back up a little bit. Alex struggling just a bit with the... Oh, dear. Yeah, I've noticed these Mandrake models on TTS are very floppy. They kind of just fall all over the place.
Yeah.
He should fit there. I think it's just the model keeps falling over.
Yeah.
Yeah, this has really only been a thing with the Mandrake models on TTS. Like, I don't know what it is about them.
When you flip them over, do they like go into the table, or do they kind of just float on their heads doing a handstand? Do you remember?
I think they just float on their heads doing the handstand.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
I think they're one of those.
Yeah, whoever made them, I think, just did not consider their collision physics.
You could probably go into the physics for the model and fix it, but I don't think anybody has. And that Clavak setting up in a pretty nice spot right there. Not sure that the Flamer has a shot on the Clavaks at all. Yeah, I mean, I think those incubi, though, are going to be really vital when it comes to actually being able to fight with the Berserkers. And anybody on this list is going to cut through cultists, but the incubi with their, the AP3, what is it, 3 attack each? Yeah.
Yeah. And then it's like on wound rolls of 6, it goes from damage 1 to damage 3 or damage D3, correct?
That's only the Clavaks, not the but it does go to damage 3.
Yeah, it's +2 damage.
Interesting spot for that incubi there. So if Matt wants to charge that guy next, assuming this Berserker lives, he's going to have to also declare the demo, unless he wants to go all the way around. Okay, so that is our movement phase. Well, I guess we might see some terminal action right now. So Matt has to decide first. So he is going to roll for it with that cultist. And he does not get the 4-up. So there's not going to be any terminal stuff for him. Alec, however, still has the opportunity to. And I think he's going to do it with that rack right there.
Yeah.
Now, does he roll for it, or does he just spend the CP? It looks
He's
like he's
rolling
roll
for it. Does not get it. But he does have another model Alec, close to it, right?
Well, no, you can only operate a terminal with
once.
one model. Yeah. If you want to do it a second time, you have to control the other terminal.
I see.
All right, so that rack is going to the demo rack gunner is going to go into the Khorne Berserker veteran. So number of shots first and foremost, 4. That's a pretty good set right there.
Yeah.
I believe we'll be wounding on force. Is that right?
Yeah, because of the demo spec.
Oof.
Oh my goodness.
That was unfortunate.
Just a complete whiff. I think he's spending a CP to reroll one of those.
Looks like it.
Oh, and into another 2.
Curse of the blue dice, people.
Seriously.
There goes the demo for that round. Now, maybe Alec is thinking about fire and fading.
Yeah, he's measuring out from that model right now.
I mean, that's gives him a hold more.
Could he fire and fade onto that point and then close that door?
He could close the door.
It's a normal move, yeah.
Because fire and fade is a move.
All right.
Oh no!
What just happened? What just happened? All right, I think he's trying to draw a line of sight onto the Berserker. I think he wants to get charged here, and it makes sense. He took Reaper. He's not going to want to deny his opponent the opportunity to run into a liquefier gun.
So now that Mandrake is going to take a couple pot shots onto the Cultist Gunner, and this should be on 6s. Oh my goodness.
Oh, jeez.
I would probably say that Cultist doesn't have a shot, but...
Yeah.
Looks like it's going over that wall.
Yeah. Oh, I'd say no.
Was that all of the shooting? Man.
Yeah, they're scoring.
So hold more for Alex because of that fire and fade move. And
right.
Just hold one. And Alec gets initiative, which is pretty
that
huge
is
here.
Yeah.
But Matt might be thinking about a decisive move.
Yeah, I believe he's looking at charging. Looks like he spent a CP to do it.
Oh, and now...
Oh, they both rolled off for it.
And won.
Oh, my goodness.
So it looks like this Incubi here is going to be making a charge onto that Khorne Berserker veteran right there.
Yeah.
Which was probably what Matt had in mind, if I had to guess. He went for a frag grenade Overwatch. He's gotten 4 shots.
Yeah.
Nothing, no.
All right, here comes the charge. Gets him in.
Definitely gets in.
Yeah.
And Alec is re-rolling charges now, too, so that's a pretty big deal.
Could he have gone around to get on the other side of that? Just for the sake of consolidating?
He totally could have.
Was that?
Got 9.
Because he'd gone around, that could have been a consolidate onto the other point.
Could have consolidated on the other point, yeah. It's 9 inches. It's like 2, 5, 7, 8. It's close for sure. I'm not sure 100% if he could have done it.
So I guess something to note is Matt went down to 2 CP for that decisive move, and Alec went down to 1. So that means a decisive strike could be in the cards for him.
Oh, you're absolutely right.
Rather, an uncontested decisive strike.
Look like a charge roll of 4 that he's re-rolling into another charge roll of 4.
Oh no. Sorry, I just got back in. Which one was that? Was that the Corn Berserker right there?
Yeah.
Ooh. Do we know what he was going for?
Now.
Probably that Clayback, I'm assuming?
Probably. Ooh.
I guess noteworthy about the Incubi is, yeah, they're toughness 3 models, but they actually have a 3-up save, which could do pretty well against the Berserkers.
Yeah. Chain Axe is only AP 1. Oh, Alec is disconnected. So we're going to wait for him to get back in.
Yeah, I guess in the meantime, yeah, the Chain Axe has that AP 1, and it will be wounding on 2s against them, but in a decisive strike scenario, Matt's really only going to get those 3 attacks off onto that Incubi right there. So it's with a 3-up save, well, I guess a 4-up save against the Chain Axe and a 3-up against the Chain Sword, and the 6-up Feel No Pain. It's not out of the question that he could survive that round of attacks and swing back.
Right.
Neither of these players have domination, correct?
I don't believe so.
I mean, it's not a surprise with the state of the middle of the board.
Yeah, they're all killy. Mind Games being the only one that's kind of not killy.
I would say that Mind Games is pretty killy.
Yeah, it's killy.
So Alec is declaring basically the whole group over there for his charge with the Clayvax.
Yeah, that looks like 2 cultists, the Corn Berserker champion, as well as the cultist gunner with the flamer.
Yeah.
Are we all back in here? Awesome.
To redo the scoreboard.
I hope we don't need to redo the board state.
No.
That much. It saved pretty good.
My picture just have to reset.
So Matt was reacting with one of his cultists there. I think he fell back with the cultist near the terminal.
That's right.
Basically, kind of making it impossible for him to get to the Berserker that failed the charge.
Okay.
And this kind of puts Matt in a sticky situation, because if he wants to use point blank Overwatch, he will be giving up the option to do that decisive strike later on. All right, so that's a 9-inch charge, which is pretty good for Alec here.
Oh, it looks like he's going for that flamer.
Yeah, I think he's measuring to see if he can possibly get to that Berserker there.
Yeah. If I was him, I would want to get stuck in with both, probably.
Oh, yeah.
Just to shut down the flamer and be able to fight first. And then even if Matt decides to decisive strike, he's going to have to pick and choose which Berserker he wants a decisive strike with, Yeah. Pressure is mounting here.
So he just settles to go to that cultist up there by the terminal.
Well, all right. I guess he measured from the Berserker champion, and he didn't like what he saw.
Yeah, I would say that's probably the case. The counter charge potential is pretty much no longer there from the Berserker champion.
Right.
I was actually going to say in the first round where that champion is. He doesn't really have a great opportunity to get anywhere else, honestly. Unless Alec moves into a position for him to charge on to. I mean, look at how far away he is from everybody.
Yeah, right.
Now. I mean, there's still some moves to be done, but yeah.
That's the curse of the zealot specialist, I find, in Arena, is that you want them to be far enough so that you're not stuck in combat with them turn 1, top of turn 2, but you want them to be close enough in order to actually get stuck in combat at some point during the game and get a charge in. It's just a fine line.
So the rack hopping onto that Khorne Berserker veteran as well. He has readied the demo rack 100 on there, so he's come charge me.
Yes, please, please come charge me. Don't make me beg. You know, something that Matt might be able to do, if that cultist in the hallway behind the Khorne Berserker is out of line of sight from that readied rack, he might be able to charge him in first, shut down the shooting, and then Matt can follow up with the Khorne Berserker charging in.
I want to say that the cultist is out of line of sight.
Yeah, it's kind of difficult just from the angle. Trying to see from base to base. Yeah, I don't think that cultist is in line of sight. We'll see if Matt's able to exploit that. And there is a Mandrake down. And a Mandrake down on the field.
Now, depending on the charge roll down here, though, he could run the risk of blocking the doorway and keeping the Khorne Berserker out altogether.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, do you think it's worth the risk? Like, if it measures out to be that case, like, do you think he would just hold the cultist there? Because I mean, what else is this cultist going to do, really?
Sure.
Yeah. For what it's worth, if you make a charge successfully, you can't opt to keep the guy there. You have to move him.
Yeah.
So. He would
Right.
have to put him in that doorway if he makes that charge, and he can't get any further than the doorway.
Yeah.
I think another charge was just made, maybe with that rack down there. Kind of surprised that he's not using the combat Akathis to move up and fight things and keeping the regular rack on the point.
Yeah, true. Like, I want to say he's just using him sort of as, like, area denial with the liquefier gun, and then if anything does get too close, then he can just, like, countercharge at turn 3. But right now, in this board state, I would have liked to see that combat Akathis get into combat. I mean, round's not over yet, so.
Yeah, I suppose he could move the Night Fiend up there if he wants to.
Yeah. That Mandrake standing on the pipe, presumably.
Oh, yeah, him too.
Yeah, he's right there, so.
Really see him.
I don't remember if that model has been moved already, because I think he pinged him earlier on. But yeah, no, he could get on there. All right. So it looks like they're measuring an incubi charge right now. Looks like he'll need about 8 to get into that occultist. 7 or 8. And here comes the charge.
So I don't know if that got him in. I think he missed the box. So another 7. So
Yeah.
if it didn't get him in the first time, then
No. Oh, so he's just going to elect to keep him there. And you know that I think that's a fine move.
he's readying up both the Mandrake and the Archivists now.
Okay.
And he's got his leader in that shooting lane that I was talking about earlier.
Right.
Kind of threading that needle.
Oh, right. Yeah, look at that. That's cheeky. Or does he? Not sure what he's measuring right now.
He's just trying to figure out what's short range for him. Oh, no, he's actually going to advance him instead.
Yeah. Getting him in that corner there, setting up for a blind charge turn 3.
Yeah.
Presumably.
Got to be careful, though. That Berserker up there, the combat might... I mean, like, with the Renegade chapters, he could maybe come around and get onto the leader.
Oh, man. That would be a charge, but yeah. If anyone can do it, it's these guys.
Yeah, the reroll charges.
Yeah.
So
Yep,
Matt is going to go for that, yeah. Good call, Ryan. That was
a big big brain play coming in right now. But yeah, as I was saying, if he only is able to get the cultist onto the rack down there, and he can't quite get the Khorne Berserker through, it's not the worst thing, because he'll be able to pile in, might survive the following hits if he's not able to kill the rack and be contesting that point. So
yeah.
No charge is, or a charge is better than no charge at all in this instance, I think.
And I guess it's worth noting also, before the DC happened, Alec did opt to use point blank Overwatch for that cultist.
Oh, jeez.
So okay. If he gets in, we're going to see that liquefier gun go to work.
Nice. Kill Team Stream in chat is saying, I think Alec got really lucky with this map / deployment. Janice agrees with him. You guys think this map, I mean, like, look, like Druhkari, they move so much faster than Heretic. Do you think that this deployment in particular gives Alec an advantage in this matchup?
I mean, I do think that it kind of goes both ways. I don't think it was the map so much that gave Alec the advantage, but the twice in a row now. This could have easily gone the other way with Matt getting this initiative here round 2 and getting all these charges out of line of sight and kind of just flooding the objectives that Alec has right now. So I don't know if I would say that it's the deployment so much as
5
just the way that
auto-hitting
the dice
shots
have
from
gone.
liquefier onto that cultist.
Oh,
And it
yeah.
looks like he stopped him obscured, of course, so looking for force. Or our cultist T3.
Oh, yeah.
That is 3 wounds.
So he has to roll the D3, the APD.
For each one of those, right?
No, I think it's just for the whole shot.
Well, theoretically, you're slow rolling one at a time. So
Yeah.
Also, it doesn't matter because it's a cultist, so any amount of AP is going to cut through.
Sure.
So they
This
just,
is also true, yeah.
That might have just been the injury roll.
Yeah. So they're putting
So
down
that's
a
a bounty.
bounty token.
Yeah. All right, yeah, so that's a dead cultist, so Alec gets the first of 6 that he's hoping for here.
Corner boxes is rough for most.
Only 1 shot on the liquefier this time, but he gets a wound through. And this is AP.
Oh, jeez.
Uh-oh. So a 6-up save needed for this Corn Berserker. He does
No.
not get it. So let's see. 5 up to kill,
Oof.
and he gets
It's
it.
a 5.
Wow, yeah. The dice have not been in Matt's favor this game.
Jeez.
I mean, winning turn 1 initiative, failing that charge with the Berserker and the decisive move, and then those 2 things right there, that's rough. But, I mean, that was a really smart positioning for Alec with the demo spec.
Yeah.
Game certainly isn't over yet.
Yeah. Matt's charging into that rack on the top left objective. The cultist flamer is moving closer to the middle, trying to line up a shot on the leader Mandrake, it looks like.
Yep. Yeah, I think that's a good play.
And staying outside of line of sight from the combat Akathist and that other Mandrake. Yeah, that's a good move. I like that. Moving a cultist onto the top right objective just to get a objective secured, basically.
Yeah, I'm wondering what the play is with the Berserker champion here. If he's just going to move him up for next round, or
yeah, I mean, I'm not really sure what else he's gonna be able to do with him, basically.
yeah, I don't even think anybody else is within 12. Or maybe Matt wanted to leave room over there, so. So I guess that Berserker champion could pile in and to that dog fight up there, or that dog pit up there with the rack and the cultist and the other Berserker.
Right. Is there a charge incoming?
Yep.
Yeah.
He's going for that rack up there, but he's charging everything else just because there's no reason not to. That does not do it.
Oh, jeez.
Well, he gets a free reroll.
Yeah. All right, let's see it. And he is going to try to get as close to that top left objective as he can.
He did not. Yeah, I think he's trying to measure if it's possible for him to
Ooh,
get on that Clevex, because then he would have to.
yeah.
And I do think it might be possible.
Yeah, I think it is too.
Yeah.
In which case, that's probably going to be the target for the decisive strike. He's out right now, but he has room to get a little bit closer, I think.
Yeah, you can see a little bit of a gap between his Berserker champion and the cultist. If he's able to just shift it over a little bit, he'll be exactly within 1 inch.
And he can even
Right.
move
Yeah, that
down.
should do.
and-
Yep, that's an inch. All right, successful charge for the Berserker champion.
It's not all bad. And that's certainly going to be the decisive strike if I had to guess. That Incubi is a pretty big target.
Especially since it's a Clevex. Just statistically, it's the model most likely to kill in the upcoming fight phase, so... And he does have that... The Clevex does have that 3-up save, but I mean, the Berserker champion is probably the best model to attempt to kill it with, just because it's AP -2, wounding on 3s, rerolling failed wounds.
You know. And since he's a zealot, he's actually going to be wounding on 2s because he's strength 5 base.
Yeah, that's right.
I think we're in shooting now, so the leader is taking guts at the, and he gets 1.
All right.
Wounding on a 3.
Yep.
Gets the wounds, so
that is AP 1.
Yeah, so no save. So just the injury roll. Looking for a 5-up.
He takes a flesh wound.
So it's Matt's shot now, and I'm assuming he's just going to go straight away into the with the flamer now, and he gets 5.
Nice.
5 auto hits. That's pretty scary.
And these are strength 4, right?
Yeah. So wounding on 3s. So he
only gets
2.
2. No AP.
So 5-up invulns now for the rack, or not the rack, the Night Fiend. Gets neither. And feel no pains? No. And I believe this is a 5-up to kill because of that obscuring wall right there.
Yeah, I think so.
Gets him. That is the leader dead for Alec. Yeah, I would say that's. I do think that was a little bit too aggressive of Alec there to throw the leader up when he just had kind of a free firing lane over here.
Right.
And now Matt gets to take some pot shots with the las guns. Or auto guns, is it? Whatever that is that these cultists get. Yeah, auto guns.
Yeah.
Same thing. Is that 2 hits there? From
Yeah,
the
that
auto
was
gun
that looks like a 5 and a 6.
Winning on 5s, but he gets neither. So, and then there's the next track who looks like he is actually within 12, despite. Yeah, he's within 12. So just one shot looking for a
Rolled 2 dice.
Isn't
Yeah,
that
he was
seven?
within 12, so it'd be
Center
2
rolled.
shots.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
it was 2 shots. But he does not wound. So
Utsakol is in the chat, and he says the old throw the leader to the chain axes strategy. Yes, it is a tried and true method. That is not the box where the dice go in.
That's why I don't use those anymore.
Yeah.
Just click the round one, the roll-o-matic.
so this is the decisive strike.
Yeah, Berserker champion of the Clayvex.
Okay. Thank you, Matt. So that's 2 wounds rather. So 5 up save. And sticks them
Gets
both.
both of them. Oh my goodness.
Wow. So yeah, that's going to be on to Alec now. So I imagine you definitely fight with that Incubi right now and try and kill that Berserker champion before it can fight again.
Absolutely.
And I believe he has 5 attacks, right? Because base 4 and he's a zealot who charged. So
Yeah. He's cloned in 4 more dice. All right. Going into the cultist. So 1 attack into the cultist, it looks like.
He does got to get those kills for Reaper and Mind Games. So.
True.
He gets a hit.
That's it. Yeah.
Moves on a 3, I believe. And he gets the 3 damage. So that's probably a dead cultist. Well, let's find out.
Probably.
Yeah.
Ooh, just barely. Just barely.
He'll probably be able to get that bounty too once he's done putting the rest of the attacks down onto the Berserker champion.
Right.
So 4, hitting on 3s, all hit.
Oh boy.
And he's going to want to slow roll these, I would say, because the potential for the 6 is it changes things. But all of these are AP -3 on against a model without an invuln and 1 wound. So the first one misses. Second one goes through. So 6 up save here for the Berserker champion. Does not get it. 1 damage. This is huge. Oh, it's a flesh wound. That is definitely huge.
Yeah. So that Berserker champion is going to get the opportunity to fight again this fight phase. Alec is going to consolidate in and collect that bounty token. So he will definitely be maxing bounty hunters this turn. Or not this turn, but this game. I don't see him not doing that. I think one of the bounty tokens may have gone missing in the hallway near the bottom right objective.
Yeah, there should be another one over there.
Yeah.
So it looks like the combat's back into the rack now. I don't know if these are all with the chain axe, or I'm assuming not with the chain axe because it doesn't matter. So he's probably just putting them all in with the chain sword.
Right.
How many wounds is that? 2? So he saves 1, and then he's got a 6-up Feel No Pain,
Oof.
which he gets. Wow. So I imagine that Alec is probably going to fight with that rack now to try and prevent that Berserker from getting a second round. No, I guess he's not going to do that. He's going to go with the rack down there. And he whiffs. He wouldn't have whiffed next round. He would have gotten 1 hit because next round Alec is going to be getting +1 to his weapon skill just across the board from Power from Pain. So now I'm assuming that's the combat spec up there again. Just gets 1 and Alec saves it.
Oh my goodness.
That is truly unfortunate. Now the Incubi down here. Gets a 2 hits there. And that's wounding on 4s, right?
That's correct.
Yeah. So just a 6-up. Doesn't get it.
Just a 6-up, he says. 1 damage, and that's a dead Zerker.
Yes, it is.
All right. So was that 4 to 6?
Yeah, and he'll pick up that bounty. So yeah, that's 4 out now for Matt, I believe. Honestly, it is possible that he could get Reaper still this round, if that rack just goes off up there. Now the champion, I believe, is swinging into the Incubi or the Claybex again. So 2 more wounds, so 2 5-ups. Oh no, 3 wounds because wounding on 2s.
Only makes 1.
1. Now, if he makes 1 of the 6-ups, then the model lives.
No, he doesn't.
1 damage injury roll here.
It's a 3.
And there's no CP to reroll that. So I don't think that rack was able to do anything up there. So I think that's the end of the fight phase, right?
I think so.
And we're going to see some flesh wounded guys taking morale, right?
Yeah.
Wait, yeah, does Matt have to take a break test? Because he's got 4 dead.
Not a break test.
And 2 flesh wounds.
5, 6, 7.
But there's a
He's got 7 guys still up. Only one of them appears to be flesh wounded.
No, the champion is flesh wounded also.
Oh.
So if he has 6 dead plus flesh wounded, I think. No, maybe not. Not quite yet.
So 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So that cultist flamer is shaken, I believe. And looks like they're going into scoring now.
Oh, okay. Matt has 12 models. I was counting 11 over and over again, but he does not have to take a break. That's for sure. So. So anyway, yeah. More and hold one that round. And again, not a good initiative roll for Matt here.
No.
I think he does want to win that, and at this stage. So we're probably going to be looking at a decisive move from the Khorne Berserker over there.
Yeah, looks like he's measuring it out right now.
Alec only gets 1 CP because his leader got scorched.
That's right.
That could play a big part because Druhkari have a lot of cool tactics that they want to be using a lot of the time. So missing out on some of that resource could really hurt. So important thing for there's that decisive roll off here, which Alec loses. So now the Berserker is probably going to try and make that charge into the Incubi down there, and I think he gets it with an 8.
Yep. Is that flamer shaken? I believe he is. I'm asking now.
Matt says no. And Alec is making a charge now onto the flamer that we're discussing. And I don't know, actually. I think Matt might be using Point Blank Overwatch because he's down to 0 CP now. Yeah, that flamer does not have a buddy nearby. It's the one with the flesh wound right there in the middle.
Right.
So if Alec gets one more flesh wound or out of action, then he does get to start at least scoring points for mind games, even if Matt passes the break tests, which is pretty nice for him because they are solid, I would say. And that Akathist. And then also 2 more out of action, and that's Reaper. That Mandrake just setting up shots onto the other objective where those cultists are sitting. So what's funny is that Electric Corrosive Whip, I believe, is it's a strong weapon. It's AP 2 damage, if I'm not but it always wounds on 4s, which is not great against a cultist.
No.
It's kind of the downside of it.
Yeah.
I don't think cultists are used to getting wounded on 4s, so.
Yeah.
And then the Incubi over here is trying to make a charge over onto that Corn Berserker Combat's back up top. So do you think it's the right play this round for Alec to just back off with this Clayvex from that Berserker champion?
What are the points right now? 7-4. Where do we see him getting a...
He will get to fight first. There's no decisive strike stuff, so...
Yeah. Yeah, probably. Only because he has the other Incubi declaring a charge on the Corn Berserker combat spec and the Cultist Gunner with the Flamer right now on that top left objective. Just so he can get those... Because this Cultist in the middle, the Cultist Flamer, that he's going to die. So he just needs one more to get Reaper, and then... Even then, there's one more round to go. So I would not want my Zealot Incubi Clayvex to be in harm's way. Or I'm sorry, you said the Clayvex is going to get to fight first, you said?
Yeah.
And there's no decisive strike going on? Yeah, no, yeah. I would keep him in. Why not?
Well, I think there's an argument to be made that if Alec thinks that he is probably going to get killed more, why risk?
I was going to say, yeah, depends on how risk averse he wants to be. He's playing it safe.
Also note where the demo spec lined up shots onto that objective where the cultists are. So they're probably going to have to move slightly out of the way. I mean, I think no matter what, those cultists are going to be getting shot from somewhere. So that's another potential source for flesh wounds or out of actions.
Yeah, these secondary choices that Alec has made is they've been working out for him very well.
Yeah,
they kind of all just sort of stack on top of each other. The Reaper and Mind games.
One of the cultists is charged the Akathist in the middle.
Oh. Interesting. Okay.
I don't
keeps
know
him safe.
That.
Different kind of safe. Well, no, yeah, but he only has so many attacks to split up. Yeah, he only has so many attacks to split up. It's better than taking a flamer to the face.
It's like being on the second story of like a burning building and just jumping out the windows. That sort of safe.
Looks like Matt's trying to stay on top of the pipe. perfectly balanced.
Yeah.
I
I don't know. Does he get onto the objective right there?
No, he's definitely not.
All right, so he'll be punting that.
Yeah, not sure about that being a move.
So neither player has any CP at this point.
Oh, Alex said we're counting the guy on the pipe as half an inch forward on the objective. Okay, so he just wanted to get him outside line of sight from that mandrake, I think.
And I guess he is outside of 8. So he will be avoiding shots. I was wrong about that earlier. At least I think so. I don't see anywhere that he's going to get shot. So I'm not sure what's going on here. It looks like they're going right into the fight phase.
Yeah.
So that Akathist combat, I think he has 4 attack, 3 base, and then he gets the extra for combat. So he'll probably be splitting those, if I had to guess. So hitting on 2s at this point now because of Power from Pain.
Wounding on 4s.
Yep. So that goes through. I don't know which one that was on, but it is an injury roll right off the bat, and that's an out of action. They're just going to throw that guy into the hallway of despair. Okay, they took him out. So he does not wound on the other guy, and that's kind of the downside of those poison weapons. A 3 is usually going to wound a cultist, but not here.
Yeah.
And that's oh, go ahead.
Yeah, the thing with the I still think the electric corrosive whip is good in this matchup just because racks are strength 3. So having a model that is going to be wounding on 4s against the berserkers, AP -2, 2 damage is good. It's just not very efficient in against the cultists.
Yeah. So 4 save, I think, for that incubi down there, and he does get it. And now the chain the chain sword now, and wounds on a 3, gets the wound, and so 3 up save now for the incubi, and he gets that too. Alec's been making his saves this game.
Yeah. The incubi is going to fight into the Khorne Berserker combat spec now, looking for 3s. Gets 2.
I think on 4s here, but he doesn't get either. So Matt gets the second round of attacks now with that berserker down there that gets a hit with the chain axe and wounds. So that's a 4 up. Doesn't get it, and there's no CP, so that's an injury roll.
Well, the 6 up feel no pain. Doesn't get that either.
He doesn't. Yeah. All right. Kills him. And that'll probably be a bounty now for Matt. I don't think he has to go within an inch of that guy. I could be wrong. Alec set it up that way.
No, he gets this fight again, right?
Well, that was the second attack. Second round, I guess. And even if he could, he actually wouldn't be able to fight those models because he didn't charge them.
Right.
There's a lot of strange complexity to the the blood for the blood god ability, and I feel like it's played differently on every packet, so nobody really understands it other than the chaos players. And even they barely seem to understand it, so I don't blame anyone for missing it sometimes.
Yeah.
So that cultist, I think, is fighting Akathist now.
Sean, what were Matt's other secondaries?
Let's take a peek. Headhunters and bounty hunters. So
Headhunters and bounty hunters.
So he should be grabbing one there. Oh, he did. Yeah, he did.
All right, now here's that Clayvex.
Yeah,
2 hits
headhunters.
because of the +1 weapon skill. Oh, and he fails both wounds. That's what I'm saying. That guy is now in big danger. Big danger. Now the combat spec, I think, is a...
That's 2 hits.
1 wound.
And a flesh wound.
Not
Or
sure
no,
why
he was-
There wasn't
Yeah.
a reroll.
I don't know what
that was.
happened there.
So he made the save, and now he's got a chain sword. Which wounds on 3s. He gets it. So a 3-up save here, and he gets it.
Jeez.
I think he only rolled 3 dice, but maybe he was supposed to get 4.
Oh,
No, it
maybe,
is only
yeah,
3.
because he's a combat.
Or is it 10?
Oh, I don't know. But here's the second round. I'll hit. 2 wounds. So 2 4-ups. Oh, makes 1, fails 1, gets a 6 up. No. And that's an out of action. So Matt is looking at kill more right now for this round. And that's a headhunter as well. So that's a big point.
Yeah, Dindomer. That's what I thought it was too, a Lightning Claw reroll.
So correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't think that Alec is going to be able to get a game's point this round, or Reaper. And that's a feel no pain failed, so
yeah,
whoa.
it's another dead model. Oh, and he's going to consolidate right off the point. Right into this Mandrake? Yeah.
So that Mandrake will be able to fight. And was that the first or second round of attacks?
I'm honestly not sure. Rolling more attacks, so I'm assuming this is the second fight right now incoming. I don't know. What other models?
I believe the Mandrake would get to fight first, because
That's what I would think too.
I don't
I don't know what that acronym
I'm not sure.
was.
Yeah, well, it's Blood for the Blood God. It's Blood for the Blood God doesn't allow you to fight like back to back twice in a row. Like you just get to fight a second time. It's not like
Right. No, he piled into him with Blood for the Blood God. I see. He chose not to consolidate, and then he chose to pile in when he
Gotcha.
decided.
I thought that was a
to use
consolidate.
Blood for the Blood God. Yeah, that makes sense.
Oh, yeah.
That's a smart play. Jeez.
Yeah, well.
Okay, so that was 4 models killed in 1 round for Matt.
That was wild.
So that's maxed bounty hunter for him, I believe. Only got 1 headhunter there. But yeah, I mean, Alec is down to 5 models left. So
5 of his models have been taken out of action.
4,
1, 2,
5.
4, 5. Yeah, he's got 5 models left. And really, only one of them has substantial killing power left.
So that's a break test then, right? Because there's a flesh wound. And
I don't think that flesh.
No, that was for the cultist.
Acatist.
Oh, okay.
I think they forgot to take it off.
Right. So Alex is doing a break check. And he's safe. I don't think he had to do the break check because he's got 5 models on the board plus 5 dead models. None of his models are flesh wounded from what I can see.
Yeah, I don't think that flesh wound is from the Acatist unless we really missed something with that.
Yeah.
Chaos Cultist.
Yeah. That belonged to the Chaos Cultist over here.
Matt just took a nerve test and somebody just became shaken. Oh, it's this champion. So that's pretty huge.
What? That is huge. Oh, man. Going into round 4 with oh, my goodness. Yeah, that's huge. This is going to come down to the wire here.
Yeah, that's what.
Yeah, that's what we had figured.
Yeah, I think they just discovered that Alec did not need to take that break test.
Yeah.
But yeah, Matt, I believe Matt did max bounty hunters there, right? Because he got the kill with the champion, picked up this. Here should have picked up a bounty, and this berserker over here for sure picked one up.
Right.
Although it looks like Matt might not have consolidated with that guy in the doorway on the bottom.
Yeah, I don't think he moved him at all. That's why he hasn't maxed it yet. I think they just cleared that token off the board because it's going to be inconsequential. Perhaps. I'm not sure if I would say it's completely inconsequential, but...
Well, this is going to heavily come down to the way this initiative roll goes, I think.
Yeah.
It's also really convenient for Matt. His leader's still alive, so he's getting 2 CP, whereas Alec is still getting 1.
Oh, he won the initiative roll.
Gets the roll he needs. Now
Yep.
Is Alec going to decisive move here?
I mean, who's he going to decisive move with, right?
Yeah.
Is there really any model that's going to gain a benefit from doing that? Because, I mean, right now his combat Acatist is already locked in combat with that Chaos Cultist. I mean, I could see either the Mandrake or the Rack charging into or get the Rack out of there. Yeah. So he has to charge that demo or go back onto the point or charge the combat Acatist instead.
Yeah, I mean, I think that, yeah, I don't know. It's a bit of a tough one. It's also hard to you can't just fall back from that combat Acatist too, because he's got a liquefier, so. Looks like Matt is measuring some charges here with that Combat Berserker, who I would say has probably been the MVP for Matt so far this game. He really cleaned house over there.
Yeah. All right, so the Mandrake's going to fall back just to try to make that charge a little harder from the Khorne Berserker combat spec.
Oh, yeah. I'm not sure what he needs now, but it's something big.
I think he gets it.
Super close.
Yeah.
Well, let's find out. Oh, I believe he does get it.
Yeah.
Wow.
Sheldon says, I think if Alec kills one more model, he could win if Matt breaks.
Yeah, that's true.
It's totally fair, yeah.
That's a 6-point swing.
Yeah.
I mean, if nothing else, forcing the break test gives him another 1 point for mind games.
Yeah,
Reaper
at
would be
least gonna
3, kill
a 1.
other secondaries we have in here.
So, looks like that Khorne
just bounty.
Berserker is
Yeah.
charged into the combat Akathist. Not the Mandrake. That could pose an issue with Alec being able to kill a model here.
So it looks like he's going to try and fall back with that rack behind the demo. So that way it's just impossible for him to get by.
Yeah.
Unless he charges a demo, which I'm assuming he isn't. I mean, it might be possible still if he hugs the wall.
Yeah.
Maybe that's really close. I don't
Yeah.
think. I don't want to measure, but.
Yeah, right.
Oh, so he
Okay.
just brings
He's
him
just
over there.
piling into that combat Akathist. Yeah.
That's and there's Vicious Assault.
Yeah. Looks like an advance with that cultist right there. And he gets the 12. Looks like he's just trying to poke out, I guess.
Is that rack by the terminal supposed to be in close combat with the Berserker?
I don't think so.
Okay. Yeah. So let's not forget, Alec has he lost the initiative here. So I mean, oh, actually, that's terrible for him. Never mind. Because he's not going to be able to charge the Chaos Cultist in the middle there with that rack to try to pick up one kill. And if he charges the Cultist Gunner with the Flamer, he's going to get torched.
Yeah.
Best thing for him probably is he's got that rack on the bottom right objective. And what is... Oh, he just cloned him. Oh, no, that is the leader. Okay.
Yeah.
That's the leader. He popped
Okay.
in. And he's
So,
gonna
I
try
mean,
and
this
close that door.
demo... Oh, yeah. All
He
right.
will close that door.
Yeah. So, Demo Rack Gunner could walk up, try to open it, and then get to shoot.
Yeah.
He does have Alec does have 1 CP left, and that rack is right next to the terminal.
Yeah, I was going to say he could walk up with the demo, try to open the door, and if he does, he could shoot with him and then fire and fade onto that point, maybe. But
Or fire
it looks like there's
Yeah,
yeah,
you're right.
it looks like there's already a guy on the point in the back. He would be able to hold it anyway.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, really, the key for Alec here is he needs to get one kill on a guy that doesn't have a flesh wound.
Yeah.
So, I mean, really, it's going to need to be that rack up there, probably charging one of the cultists. I think it's Alec's time to move now. So,
do Druhkari have a feigned retreat equivalent?
I believe
they do.
so.
I think it's called Cruel Deception.
Yeah.
Maybe that's another thing, but they do have a feigned retreat equivalent.
Yeah. Like, he wouldn't be able to use that on the combat Akathist because he's been charged.
Yeah, that combat Akathist is he's gonna have to survive like 4 rounds of attacks from Berserker. I don't see it happening, even with the toughness for a 4-up save.
4-up save and the 6-up feel no pain. I think I do see it happening. I do see that model surviving.
And against how many? Okay, 6 attacks plus 10 or no plus.
He has to clone some
Eight
dice.
more, so 14 attacks.
So I think the demo Rex trying to open the door, Cultist is trying to keep it closed, and it's a 4, so that door does open.
Yeah, that's pretty nice for Alec.
Yeah, that's exactly what the doctor ordered.
And now there's that rack up top too that could charge that shaken guy, right? The champion thing. Who would get the swing back?
Yeah, he would not, but he could also try and charge one of the cultists for an easier kill.
Oh yeah, top left there.
Because honestly, Matt really only
has a flamer though.
Matt really only has one solid kill this round, like set in stone, and I would say that's probably the Akathist. So if Alec can get 2 kills, then he'll probably get kill more.
This game is so close. I can like feel like sweat beating down my head.
Yeah, also, there's if it's probably important that he gets a charge because okay so he went in for the shaking, but he could hypothetically use the combat to up and at him.
Yeah, that's what Dindomer just said in the chat.
Oh yeah, okay, because he would only have to survive 1 round of Berserker attacks before he gets to fight, which is a massive difference between 14 attacks.
So he's going to try to flame that leader. Leader is obscured here. Only 2 shots. Oh, man.
Twos, though.
Yeah.
And if 1 goes through, then it's an injury roll. Yeah.
Wow. Boxcars.
So AP doesn't matter because it goes through no matter what. So 4 up to kill.
3.
Oh, does he re-roll that?
Dude, I would. I have to kill 1. He's re-rolling.
That's a lot of points. Yeah.
No! Oh, no.
I was going to say, I don't know, man. You could saving that up and at him point. Could have been huge. because you get the flush moon, that's good already for mind games. But like that model did what it needed to. That flamer only gets one shot, looking for a 3, and it gets it. 5 up. No.
6 up.
Yes.
Got it.
Wow.
Right micro. It's so intense.
Okay. So we are in the fight phase. There's no decisive strike stuff.
Yeah, so the rack into the zealot, I think.
Yeah. I mean, that's not a very high percentage go. I mean, 2 attacks, strength 4. Not strength 4, wounding on a 4. 1 damage, no AP. But yeah, we start with the Berserker, so.
Okay. So 4 attacks, looks like, from the Berserker. The Combat Specialist going into that Combat Akathist, all hit. Only 1 wound.
No, that's
with the axe.
Yeah.
1 save, miss.
Peter 6 up. Feel no pain, does not get it. That is an injury roll. And he's dead. Yeah, I think that's game.
Yep.
I don't think that rack right there is gonna get a kill on the Berserker champion. It's unlikely.
Let's hold more.
Yeah, I mean, I think he was gonna get
it
either way.
Yeah, sure.
2 hits. Wounding on 4s. He does get 2 wounds, so 2 3-ups.
Oh,
Matt,
no. Oh, man.
Matt still has a CP, though, so I'm convinced. He fails one. He has a CP.
He's using it.
He's doing it.
Yeah, of course he's going to do it. Easy call there. So 3-up, really good chance he makes this.
Okay. Oh, he
got
it.
Of course. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I think you have to charge the flamer instead, because that's, in all likelihood, that's a kill, or that's an injury roll at least against that flamer.
I mean, he has to survive the Overwatch and a flamer.
Right.
Yeah, but I mean, his Mandrake had to survive an Overwatch, or not an Overwatch, but a flamer attack. So either way. I believe it. And I think Matt passed it. So unless there's something else they're rolling for, but I really don't think so. So Matt or Alec didn't even get kill 1 that round. He just holds 1, and that's all.
Right. Matt has auto passed his Cultist Champion morale phase. So now they are just going into turn 4 scoring.
Yeah, I mean, I would say that this game kind of went wrong, like especially when that leader went out, because it really limited the things that Alec was able to do, just with his activations and tactics. And he only ever picked up 2 bounties too, so he couldn't quite get that last one. Wow. Yeah, those last 2 rounds were brutal for Alec. Okay, it's all good.
Oh,
now.
wow, that was close.
That was insanely close.
Yeah.
I thought I was toast at the end of turn 2.
But yeah, that was a huge swing. So I guess, Matt, I'll talk to you first. What happened between, like, what caused that turnaround, do you think?
So, this guy down here, this MVP here, my combat, did what I needed these guys to do. He killed in a turn he got charged. So he got to kill, consolidate. I kind of went over it really fast, and you guys missed it, and Alec missed it too, so I apologize. But he stayed outside of an inch on his consolidation. Gotcha. And then on Blood for the Blood God, he piled in his 3 inches, and he attacked. And being able to clear that out was crucial right there. And then this guy kind of surviving against the Zealot by some miracle, and then to take him down was also good. Again, I was hoping he was going to kill and then pile. Same thing with here. It just didn't happen. But that guy there really was a big swing. And then the fact that my guys stopped dying turns 3. Like I lost all my guys in turns 1 and 2.
Yeah.
And then they just started.
Go ahead. Sorry.
I thought it was boned. He killed 2 of my Corn Berserkers, a bunch of my guys. I was like, you know what? I'm boned. But like, yeah, my luck spun around real fast. But he kept sticking saves too, so it was tough.
Yeah. Alec, I wanted to ask you how big of, because this is something that I brought up on stream. How big do you think that leader dying hurt your ability to kind of like match him in activations and just your flexibility?
Yeah, absolutely. So I tried to save 1 CP a turn for rerolling a save on a rack, especially one of the more important racks like the demo or the combat. That wasn't there. There were some rerolls that maybe I would have liked to have done that I couldn't have. Couldn't match him on a decisive strike. That hurt. So on turn 2, I got really lucky with the Overwatch down in the corner, or turn 1 or whatever, and really just murdered a bunch of guys. I got very lucky there. I got greedy though. So what happened? I charged my rack in from this point to this point, which put him in combat with the Corn Berserker, which is dumb. What I wanted to do was bring this Clavex around and also get him in, and I didn't want to be Flamer Overwatched. That's what I was trying to avoid. It had high upside, but it also had high downside. If I hadn't done that, I think that would have been the better move. And I did a similar thing when I moved my leader from sort of hanging back in the corner to being up in the other corner, where it was possible for him to get a Flamer on my leader. Flamer on a Mandrake is not good. All right, you don't get that -1 to hit bonus, and they're toughness 3. So I got greedy there, and if I had played it a little more safe and not made as many dumb mistakes, would I have lost those folks? Would I have had the extra command point? Would I have been able to dictate the charges better? I think that's what really turned the game for me was getting a little bit greedy there.
Yeah, Alec, I did want to ask you, how much experience do you have playing against Heretic Astartes? Because I know you didn't play any at LVO, as far as I'm aware.
I played one at a LVO prep tournament. The person I played was much less bold with the with the berserkers, and I think only had 3 of them. It was still tough. Yeah, I think Heretic Astartes, especially the Corn Berserkers, I think are a tough matchup for me because they're better at fighting in close combat and in close range, and that's sort of what I have to do. I have to be in close range to get anything done. And especially with the board, there aren't a whole lot of shooting lanes for me to get the Mandrakes in. I'd really like to just kill his cultists and not worry about the berserkers, but you just can't really do that on this map. So yeah, tough matchup. You have to be really careful about positioning and where he's going to be able to move and the charges and things like that. Yeah, like I could have moved the Mandrake out of range for that Blood for Blood God consolidation. It's just not something that occurred to me, Like that's really tough. They have such great movement and they are so killy. That fight twice is really tough.
Yeah, no, for sure. It's definitely something that you don't have to worry about with other factions. It's very much a berserker specific type of issue that you have to deal with. Matt, I wanted to ask you. So I know in your previous games playing this on this roster, you were taking a lot more cultists than you did today. So what in your prep led you to take the 6 berserkers?
So I talked to the other chaos player. We help each other out, to be honest with you. And I was thinking about actually taking the Terminator. But he thought maybe that was overkill. And in the end I decided that was probably accurate, that I was better off with more Khorne berserkers because they are much harder to kill than my cultists. And so that's really what, like, I thought about it for a while, and I'm like, yeah, I think I want to go with the more Khorne berserkers, because they'll just, generally they'll shred his guys, just because they have the volume attacks, and they're decent enough toughness that the only times I really lost anybody was to shooting. So, and I think combat, one combat. But I think that was the way to go. I think with the higher toughness guys that are just much harder for him to take out.
Sean, when I looked through his list, I thought that was the list that I would have taken, given my limited knowledge of them. Maximizing the Khorne berserkers, it plays to his strengths, because I can kill the cultists really easily. That's great for me.
Yeah, honestly, I was expecting. We were talking about it in pregame, and we were all kind of expecting the cultist spam, because that's kind of what we've seen from Met so far. But these guys are a lot more durable than the cultists, obviously.
And that's what I think makes Heretic Astartes, I think, difficult for opponents, is you don't know what I can bring. I can bring spam, or I can bring a lot of 3+ saves, and you really don't know what I'm going to bring.
Yeah, Sean, did you have any questions you wanted to ask?
Yeah, Alec, can you talk about Reaper and Mind Games a little bit? So clearly they synergize pretty well. Is that very much a matchup dependent choice, or has that kind of become a staple for you? And now, obviously, if you're playing against elite teams, it's not as easy. But can you just talk about how you made that a part of your repertoire?
Yeah, so I see Kill Team Stream. Sheldon is on the chat. I was joking with my local play group. Oh, like I've got this match against a bunch of Khorne berserkers. They're gonna absolutely murder me. I think I'm just gonna take like something like Mind Games, just because like what else am I gonna do except get murdered? Like I might, if I manage to get that, and I win, then it looks like I've done it in style. And Sheldon said, like you can't just stop at Mind Games. Like you got to go all out. And I was like, you know what? That is absolutely what I have to do. So I would say there's less strategy there and more, more just fun. But against the cultists, I think if he brings a lot of cultists, and if I'm able to kill a lot of cultists, I have a good chance at forcing a break test. And if I'm not, I think Reaper and Mind Games you're betting heavily on killing a lot of people. He's, in order for me to take out that many models, I'm probably gonna have to get to trigger the break test. I'm gonna have to get Reaper anyways.
You're pretty much an injury roll away from 5 more points. So,
it was really, really close there.
Yeah. So, the fact that you can max out on both of those at the same time and they play into each other really well, it's like a really great potential swing in your favor. So, really cool to see that combo.
I'm usually big on data recovery. I have an 8-point rack. Racks are very hard to shoot from, and kill at long range. So if I can put a rack at long range on an objective and just let him sit there for the game, it's 3 victory points for 8 real points. That's pretty easy on this map. And with how chargy I thought that he was going to be, it just seemed like a bad idea to think, yes, I can hold this objective all game. I got to run really far, and I hope that he hasn't run into me.
Yeah, we were talking about that before the game started too, how this was a particularly tough setup for data recovery and even engineer. So yeah, that's tough when you're you have really no choice but to go killy against a very killy team.
Yeah. I didn't take the grotesque. The grotesque is quite killy, but I thought that I wanted more incubus and more mandrakes. If I get into combat, a grotesque versus a Khorne berserker, the Khorne berserker with the number of attacks and double attacks and chain swords and all this, like I don't know that the grotesque is actually going to last that long against it.
Yeah.
that's fair.
On the topic of the map, there was a little bit of talking to Chad about this. How do you guys feel about this deployment? Do you think it favored one of you more than the other?
I don't think so. We're both so close combat oriented. I was actually, I was the same way. I was thinking about either, data recovery or engineers, but I 100% agree with Alec that on this map, you just can't take them because it is so easy for someone to get to these objectives at some point.
I thought it provided a slight advantage for the Druhkari just because the Mandrakes are good at shooting and can pick people off. I think that he needed to come to me on some charges, and I have some very fast flamers, and I think you saw that with the Overwatch, murder fest over here. If I'm able to set up Overwatch, I'm able to use that 1 CP for point blank Overwatch. Those liquefiers can do quite a bit of damage. So by setting it up so that he has to come to me, with the 2 flamers, I think that's good. I thought about taking a third flamer. I have a veteran liquefier in my list. I would have had to shuffle around and drop 1 Incubus, and then I wouldn't have the Zealot Clavex. The Zealot Clavex is really important for me against T4 because then he's wounding on 3s, because that +1 strength pushes him over to strength 5. But I did him and Hoell. What should I do? What should I do? I ended up sticking with the Clavex, the Zealot Clavex instead of the veteran liquefier. But putting veteran flamer right up in the middle and saying come at me, bro. That's that's a tough challenge for anybody.
Yeah, no, for sure. It's those liquefiers did work. Well, the demo liquefier definitely did, for sure.
He
Except
heard
for
his
the
squeak.
very end there.
I'll forgive him for that one.
All right, guys.
But before we head out, Matt, did you think there was anything particularly effective or ineffective that I did?
I mean, I think everything you did was effective. I was scared. I think your positions were great. The way you moved everyone, the way you used your tactics, fire and fade was great here to get you that. I completely forgot about that, even though I was one of the things I was focusing on. This guy was in a kind of a catch-22 because either I was going to flame here or flame him. I think you probably should have eaten the flamer on him, maybe, only because he's a lot harder for me to kill than the Mandrake. But whatever, it didn't really matter because this guy was able to consolidate onto here. But no, I think your moves were great. I think this was really a dice game where you had the edge.
I got a lot of dice in my favor there.
and then the second 2 turns, my dice came back with a vengeance. But yeah, I mean, it was good. It was scary stuff. Like I don't think you slipped up anywhere at all.
I thought your flamers were particularly effective, especially keeping a Corn Berserker and a flamer on that point. Like I just didn't bring enough firepower over there. It's just like I looked at that, I was like, oh, I can't get these guys out, so I guess I have to go forward. But like that really closed a lot out right there, and being able to shuffle them around here and threaten there, I thought that was a good move.
Yeah, and those liquefiers are scary too. So I had a my first turn, you saw me like checking everything. Okay, where's the liquefier going to end up? That's not going to obliterate all my Corn Berserkers.
Yeah, no, I appreciate it. Anytime you see someone who first turn thinks a lot about deployment and thinks a lot about movement, you're like, okay, this is going to be a good game.
Yeah, bring it. Yeah, like I said, you know what? I think bringing your Night Fiend out, I think was one of the problems you had. It was probably the only mistake you made.
Yeah, I got greedy.
Yeah. But great game, definitely.
Yeah, that was a lot of fun.
Yeah, really well played, both of you. It was like a really, really good matchup for the round of 32. You usually see those matchups later on, but it's just kind of how the groups turned out. I'm glad that we were able to kick off the bracket stage with what turned out to be a really tight match.
Well, thanks for doing all the organizing and all the color commentary. I'll have to see if I'm bold enough to go and watch back and see what else I missed.
All right, awesome. Sounds good.
Yeah.
And what other matchups we have to look forward to this week, for you guys?
Well, there's 31 other, or no, that's not how math works.
15?
There's 15 other matchups. Yeah. I know that I play Saturday at 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time.
Yeah, I'm playing James Skinner at 7 p.m. on Wednesday, Eastern
okay.
Standard Time.
Yep. And I'm playing on Friday at 2:00.
All right, guys. Thanks for watching. I'm pretty sure this will be on Twitch for like a month or something. I think it saves VODs. I don't know. But I'll be uploading this to YouTube sometime within the week if anybody wants to go back and rewatch this or missed out on first half of it or whatever. But yeah, thanks for watching, and we'll talk to you guys later.